we doing, America? This is America, What Are We Doing? Part 2 by Winston Anderson. Listen, I just got through watching something on YouTube about a female swimmer who competed in the Olympics. And she happened to compete against a transgender female swimmer. And this transgender female swimmer, who was formerly a male swimmer, who competed in the Olympics before and never even placed, probably came in around the 400th in his endeavor, whatever it was. And he decided that he's going to identify as female now and compete as a transgender female, right, in the Olympics. So he was not good enough to be within the top 400 in the males, but now he's swimming with the females. Mind you, he's bigger and stronger than all the other females because he's really a male. He's still anatomically correct, as they say. She said they had to share the locker room with this humongous male, identifying as female because of the new, listen, everybody got their own way. Everybody got their own way of thinking. Everybody's doing their own thing nowadays. And I ain't got nothing against gay people, transgender people. Let me preface this by saying I don't have nothing against them. But I don't see the logic. Listen, she said they both came in with the exact same time, right? But when it came time to awarding the trophy to the winner, this guy who never placed as a male, but was good enough to become first place with the best female swimmer, right? They told her, since you both shared the same time, that, you both win the race. It's a tie. But he gets the trophy. And when she asked why, they told her for photo ops purposes, he had to get the trophy, and she went home with nothing. And I thought this was so wrong. I mean, what are we doing, America? Come on, man. What are we doing? Think about this. Now, I want you to think about this. I always say to people when we talk about things like this, I say, okay, some people said they don't mind. Some people said, well, because transgender, this and that and the other, and they got all their little soliloquies that they go into of how we're not supposed to judge them and we're supposed to treat them fairly and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay. I want to create a scenario, right? Now, I'm not saying this is for real. I'm not saying this ever happened. I'm just saying there is a possibility, all right? I want you to explore this possibility, all right? Imagine, if you will, your cute little baby daughter. Look at her. She's cute. She's sweet, isn't she? Right? From the time she was little, she was competing with her brothers, okay? Trying to be as good as they were. And could never be as good as they were because, of course, males are stronger and, we're built different. Females are just built different than males. And so here's your cute little baby daughter. When it comes to competing with boys her own age in school, girls start out ahead of boys for some reason. I don't know. God made it that way. But after a while, we catch up and we become quicker, stronger, physically better than females. It's just a fact. All right. So now here's your cute little baby daughter. You watched her grow up. You watched her play sports and compete against other girls. Right. And, you attended every game. You cheered her on. You cried with her when she lost. You celebrated her when she won. She's got all these little trophies at home that she, shows that she's been the best at what she does. Now she's ready to compete in the Olympics for the first time. Your baby daughter, who you love so much, she's all of 5'6", which is tall for girls, 140 pounds, in great shape, the best in her class. So now you look over to the right, and here comes this guy, 6'3", 210 pounds of solid muscle. He walks up to the microphone and he says this, quote, "Good evening, Olympic Committee. My name is Vladimir Mikhail Porchenko. I am former KGB agent and pilot of both Migoyan MiG-35 and Sukhoi Su-57. Since I have participated in previous Olympics, but was never good enough to place in any of my endeavors, I would like to announce that I am identifying as transgender female and will be competing in the next Olympiad as transgender female Olympian. Although I am still anatomically correct, I have been taking hormone therapy for 2 years and am presently ready to compete as transgender female under my new name, Melania Slutskaya Porchenkova. I would like to thank Olympic Committee for anticipated cooperation in this matter, and I look forward to competing with other females just like me." Think about that. Just let that soak into your brain. Let that wet your noodle for a minute, okay? What do we do in America? Is this the door we want to open up? Is this the door we want to open up? Do you really want to see something like this happen? All right? I just thought I'd just put that out. Just let that bake your noodle for just a little bit. Just to see. I want you to think, what the are we doing? What are we doing? Come on, man. We're better than this. I understand the whole gay, transgender, all that. I ain't going to call it nonsense because to them it makes perfect sense. But I mean, come on. Drag queens. When I was a kid, people had to hide to be drag queens. Okay? There was a drag queen that lived next door to me. His name was Sonny. And I remember things was different back then. We used to call them the F word, fags. I know that's a bad word. It's almost like the N word. It's not to be said because of today's political climate. But I'm just telling you the honest truth. This is what happened. I had nothing against Sonny. Okay, Sonny would call me over and say, hey, young boy, hey, young man, could you do me a favor? Could you go to the store and buy me a pack of cigarettes? And back then they sold cigarettes to kids. They didn't care. So I would go to the store and I buy him, he put a little note in the bag and I get him his cigarettes and a bottle of Pepsi. And he'd pay me $2 just to go to the store for him, He never got fresh with me, never said anything out the way. He was just my neighbor, all right? So, but when I was with my friends further down the street, down Merrimack Street, Sonny would drive by and my friends would yell out the F word, and he would stop his car and back up and we would all run. And it was funny to us, So one day we decided we ain't gonna run, right? So Sonny comes driving down the street. He had a convertible. That's why we could do this now. He would come driving in his fancy little convertible, and we was all standing there, and we yelled the F word, bang, 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 and he would drive by, and he stopped, and he would back up, and we all stood there this time. And he backed up and he looked at us and he said, now y'all boys know better. And mind you, now when we did this, this man, he was 6 foot, about 6'3", about 240 pounds, solid muscle. I'm serious. 6'3", 240 pounds, solid muscle. But he had on go-go boots, a mini skirt, and cluster curls. I don't know if any of y'all remember them cluster curl wigs, but he had on cluster curls. All kinds of makeup. I mean, we knew Sonny, but anybody else was walking by, saw Sonny, they would have thought that was a real female. He could fool the best of them. He looked just like a girl. I mean, let me tell you something, bro. Sonny was fine. Okay? I ain't lying. Sonny was fine. I'm just going to keep it real. But we knew he was a gay man. So we said the F word and he backed up and he said, y'all boys know better. Y'all shouldn't do that. He said, y'all shouldn't be talking about me like that. I'm a grown, and he stopped in his tracks because he couldn't say I'm a grown man because he was dressed like a woman. So he said, I'm a grown, and he stopped again because he couldn't say I'm a grown woman because he was dressed like a man. So he thought about it for a second. We all stood there smiling. He smiled at us. We smiled at him. He said, well, I'm a grown person. Y'all just leave me alone. And we all bust out laughing. It was just so funny. He had to laugh with us because he realized he was caught, It was we had a, and we never bothered Sonny no more after that. We just let Sonny be Sonny. Go do your thing. And the funny thing about it is, I remember Sonny was so fine that we had some other neighbors that lived in the neighborhood. A young man and his pretty wife. Oh, he had a beautiful wife. Oh my gosh, she was fine. And they were getting fights all the time. Him and his wife always fighting. Beautiful woman, man. Handsome young man, but they always fighting. So they went to a party, right? And Sonny was there. And she knew who Sonny was, and he didn't. And mind you, we found out the reason why they fight all the time is because he was always trying to mess with other females. Come to find out, he was trying to pick up Sonny because he thought Sonny was a woman. And when somebody pulled his coattail and let him know that Sonny was not a woman, that Sonny was a man, he got mad. And him and his woman and Sonny was fighting at the party. And Sonny reached up under his miniskirt and pulled out a pistol. And all hell broke loose. It was a big thing. Everybody talked about it for weeks. But I mean, it was like, okay, we learned you don't mess with those people. All right. So for all you transgender people out there, let me tell you something. I never had a problem with Sonny. Sonny was always my friend. Okay. If you're a gay or a transgender person and that's your lifestyle, you make that choice. You go ahead, do you. But we got to take what comes with it. Okay. So, life is all about choices. And when you make a choice, you got to take what comes with it. So that's my little soliloquy about, but think about this now. Do you want your baby daughter, who you love very much, to compete with a 6'3", 210, 220 pound solid muscle man, and she's all of 5'6", 140 pounds, soaking wet? Does that seem fair to you? I mean, in all fairness, does that seem fair? Maybe, just maybe, I have a answer for the whole thing. You have male athletes, you have female athletes, and now you have transgender athletes. Why don't you let the transgenders compete with other transgenders? Females should not be competing with males. Males should not be competing with females. There are physical differences that makes us different. God designed us that way. All right. And if you don't believe in God, we're still designed that way, no matter what you believe in. All right. Males are just physically more dominant than females. That's just it. You can't let males and females compete as equals. They can't. They are not equals. Even if the male identifies as female, they're not equals. So let's get that out the way, all right? If you're going to compete, then let transgenders compete against other transgenders. That's my answer to the whole thing. All right? Once again, I'm going to say, I love you all. Even if you're gay, even if you're transgender, even if, no matter what you choose to call yourself, no matter what you choose to identify yourself as, I still love you. I have nothing against you. I wish you all the best with whatever you do. As for me and my house, since we choose to serve the Lord, we choose to live our lives by the way that God said to live it. And only God can condemn it or forgive it. So you just live it. All right? And that's a little nugget, golden nugget from me, AD, the Anointed Disciple. All right? I love you guys. See you again real soon. Tune in for the next episode. All right? Love you. Bye.